Good morning, students. Let us discuss few topics from chapter 4, that is motion in a plane. Now already we have discussed a little bit about dot product and cross product. Let me continue our discussion. Now in last class we have shown that I cap cross j cap equal to k cap. The proof one we have discussed. Now similarly, if you try to prove j cap cross k cap, you will get I cap, and k cap cross I cap, you will get j cap. Now how can we memorize this expression? Now the simplest way, you see, we have drawn a circle and we have given I cap, j cap and k cap in continuous direction, because x-axis, along x-axis unit vector is I cap, then y-axis unit vector is j cap, and then z-axis unit vector is k cap. So I, j, k, these are in continuous direction in a closed loop, as we have shown in the figure. So if someone asks you what is the value of I cap cross j cap, then you have to consider that is nothing but is your k cap, because I cap and j cap, it is in continuous direction, and when you take the cross product of these two unit vector, you will get the another unit vector, which is the remaining of these three unit vectors. Similarly, if you go for j cap cross k cap, then you will get I cap. If you go k cap cross I cap, then you will get j cap. So you have to maintain the continuous direction. Then the left unit vector is the result of the given unit vector cross product. Now if you go in reverse direction, initially it is I cap then j cap. No, initially x-axis then y-axis. Now if you go in reverse way, j cap cross I cap, then you can prove that it is nothing but is your minus of k cap, because cross product is not commutative. So whenever you change the parameter of taking the cross product, then a negative sign will comes out. So if it is k cap cross j cap, the direction is reverse, so you will get I cap, the remaining unit vector, but with the negative sign. If you go for I cap cross k cap, then you will get the another unit vector which is in opposite direction, because I cap and then k cap, I cap cross k cap, it is in reverse direction, because if you have to maintain continuous direction, it should be k cap cross I cap, no? So if you go in reverse direction, then you will get the remaining unit vector but with the negative sign. So this way you have to memorize the cross product of the given unit vectors. So the unit vectors are I cap, j cap and k cap. Now another part of the vector product or cross product is number 2, which we are going to discuss now. Now you do have a two vector, a vector and b vector, and we have written the vector a vector in terms of its component and b vector in terms of its component. Along x-axis it has a component ax, a suffix x, along y-axis it has a component ay, a suffix y, and along z-axis it has a component a suffix z. So if you want to express the given vector in terms of component, you have to express like this. It means I cap ax, j cap ay, k cap az, and similarly for b vector. Now if you have to define a vector cross b vector, you have to use the determinant rule. This rule is your determinant rule. These two parallel line, and the arrangement is nothing but a determinant. You will get in class 12 mathematics, but here we are using in class 11 in physics. Now little bit explanation part I will do to make the application part here, but rest part you will get in class 12 in mathematics. So if you have to define a vector cross b vector, what you have to do? First of all, you have to check a vector and b vector, what are the common. So a vector and b vector, the common part is your I cap, j cap and k cap. So you have to write I cap, j cap and k cap in a single row or first row. Then as you have to define a vector cross b vector, initially a then b, what you have to do? You have to write the component of a vector below I cap, j cap and k cap, and then you have to write the component of b vector below ax, ay and az, because it is a cross b. If it is b cross a, then you have to write initially for b component then a component. Now after writing this component, what you have to do? You have to consider the element belongs to row number 1 and column number 1. So it is your I cap. So if you take I cap, then what you have to do? The rule is what? You have to exclude the element belongs to first row and first column. So if you exclude the element belong to first row and first column, you have to exclude j cap, k cap, ay, ax, bx. So what left? Ay, az, by, bz. I think it is clear. Then you have to give the negative sign. Why negative sign? That part we will discuss later on. Minus j cap. Initially plus, first plus, then minus j cap. Then we have to exclude the elements belong to first row and second column. So what left? Ax, bx, az, bz. And later on you have to consider again plus, minus, plus, plus k cap, and you have to exclude the elements belongs to first row and third column. So what left? Ax, ay, bx, by. So I cap, you have to cross ay, bz minus az, by, minus j cap, ax, bz minus az, bx, and then k cap, ax, by minus ay, bx. It's your diagonally from right to left you have to go, then from left to right you have to go diagonally. So this is the way to define a vector cross b vector in terms of determinant. This is very simplest, I think, the method. Now let me try to apply this method in this example. So you do have two vector, a vector 4i cap 3j cap plus k cap, then b vector 12i cap 9j cap plus 3k cap. So a cross b, so I, j, k we have to write. Then you have to write the component of I, j, k in for a vector, that is your 4, 3, 1, and then 12, 9, 3. Then I cap, exclude the elements, so what left? 3, 1, 9, 3, and then minus j cap, then what left? 4, 12, 1, 3, then k cap 4, 3, 12, 9. So you have to cross diagonally from right to left and then from left to right. So 9 minus 9, 12 minus 12, 36 minus 36. So ultimately you are getting 0. Basically cross product is a vector product. Now when you will get 0 in case of vector, then that one is nothing but the null vector. Null vector have 0 magnitude and arbitrary direction. Arbitrary direction means its direction can't be defined. It may be any direction. So a vector cross b vector equal to 0. I think you have understood, and it's very simple. Try to practice. Okay. Once you will understand, it becomes very easy for you. Now next, I think I have given one, means I'm going to give you one exercise for you, and you try this one, and answer is also given. Okay, that is a vector 4i cap minus j cap plus 3k cap, and b vector equal to minus 2i cap plus j cap minus 2k cap. Then we have what you have to do to find a vector cross b vector. Use this rule what we have explained just now. Now next example or next exercise is your find the value of lambda in the unit vector. Now what we will do, we know the unit vector has a unit magnitude. Magnitude is your 1, is not it? So let we simplify. Let a vector equal to the given vector 0.4 I cap, 0.8 j cap, lambda k cap. Then magnitude of a vector equal to 1. So magnitude part already you have defined in the component part. You just check it out the previous class. So magnitude of a vector is equal to root over coefficient of I cap 0.4 whole square plus coefficient of j cap whole square 0.8 whole square, and coefficient of a is your lambda square. So equal to 1. So if you take the square, square root goes up, and it's your 0.16, 0.64 lambda square. So 0.16, 0.64 is your 0.80 plus lambda square equal to 1. So lambda square 1 minus 0.80. So you do have 0.20 lambda square. So lambda will be your 0.20 with the square root. I think you have understood, and check it out. Once you understand, it's very easy. Otherwise it seems to be very tough. So if you have anything to ask, please do ask. You are free to ask. Thank you.